He walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast. And I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needed to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. Like, if you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street, or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon, and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? I told him if you don't want to cook, you could wait and see if there's any leftovers. If there's leftovers, go ahead and eat. If there's no leftovers, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to figure it out. But I am not gonna cook for you. It's not my job to cook for you. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, I'm doing scrambled eggs. He wants a fried egg. No, I'm sorry. That's too much work for me. I'm not gonna do it. Plus, he's so picky with his food that he might as well just cook it himself. My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw I got married to be a wife, not a maid. If you got married to be a maid, then that's between you and your husband. When me and my husband got married, I clearly told him I will not cook for him, I will not clean for him, I will not do his laundry, and I will never ever split bills. I will never go 50-50 on bills. I will never help him with bills. I've said this before. He is a grown man. He's more than capable of cooking his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't care if I'm in the middle of cooking like I was in that video. You want something to eat? You can make it yourself. Especially that you wanted me to make something different for you. Oh, but all these parents are like, no, my kid is going to eat what I make. But then it's an issue when my husband doesn't want to eat scrambled eggs. He wants a fried egg. No, he's going to eat what there is, if there's leftovers. I'm sorry, I didn't get married with the intentions to be anybody's slave, to be anybody's maid, okay? I am not their mother. I don't need to do things for them. They could do things for themselves, especially that he's a grown-ass adult. And my job decided to drain our joint bank account and leave me after so much controversy on my videos. So on my main page, I made a video about how I didn't want to cook breakfast for my husband because I didn't want to go out of my way from making scrambled eggs to making a fried egg for him. And I said that he could do it himself. I don't cook for my husband, I never have, and I'm not going to be starting today. I'm sorry. I guess he got, wind of the videos, and yeah, he drained our bank account, and he has told me that I have to leave. At first, I thought he was the one that's going to be gone and that I was going to be able to stay here, but he returned and he said that I need to pack up my things and go. I told him absolutely not because I have children and me and my children are not going to be in the street. So I told him that he has to evict me. And the one that gave him this idea of leaving me was his birth giver. Yes. His mother was the one that gave him the grand idea to leave me after 15 years. It's honestly ridiculous and disgusting that this is even happening right now. Because
Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, for we to this lesson, giving all praises and all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakadash, the bonds of great minister, other apostle, teacher, well. Peace and salutation to those who elect that scatter abroad, like the other nations, shalom, shalom, and the shalom. To the sincere Akim that's out there making their body a living sacrifice, going out there on the highways and byways and hedges, proclaiming His truth and teaching 100% truth. Keep doing so to those who may be. Shalom, shalom. All right. And shalom to the sincere Akwathium that's out there resting and husbands being a pillar of rest. Keep doing so to those that may be. Shalom, shalom. All right. Yahweh, as being the Heavenly Father, which the world ignorantly calls Him God, which His name means in ancient Paleo-Hebrew. He is to exist. He is the Ancient of Days. Bahashem, meaning the name of Yahweh Shai, being only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, which the world ignorantly calls Him Jesus the Christ, which His name means in ancient Paleo-Hebrew. He is to exist. He is to deliver. Salaki, slip of the tongue. He is to deliver. He is to save. Who is He coming back to save and to deliver? The children of Israel only. Okay? Those are the true biblical names that Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and those names should be uplifted and proclaimed, especially during these times that we're living in, okay? This brother Karatazar with another video through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shmi Shai, and today's video is entitled here, He will need of no spoil. And the reason for this video, as you see in the first 3 minutes of this lesson, is this woman here, which I did some investigation on her. And turns out that those are skits, but the message is a lot of women are like that. You know, they get married just as say they got married and don't do the duties of a wife, you know, and basically say, I got married to be a wife and not a maid. Okay, so when you look at the, I did some research. If you go into etymology, etymology, let's look it up real quick. Slovakia. Okay. So when you look at this word woman here, woman, all right. Now a lot of women get bent out of shape when we go into words, but when you see this word woman here, all right, Elder Apostles go into it all the time. It says, adult female human, Middle English woman, from the late Old English women, when man, literally one man, alliteration of earlier wife with men, or plural with men, woman, female, servant. You see that? This is what the word woman means. Female servant, okay? You are a servant to your husband, okay? And it says the older word for women, see wife plus man, in the sense of being sense of human being, see man, okay? And it says it is notable that it was thought necessary to join with a neuter noun representing a female person to man, a masculine noun representing either a male or female person to form a word denoting a female person exclusively, Century Dictionary. All right, and as you see, a wife, you know, let's see what wife means. Okay, it says, and it says with, okay, woman, human, female, lady, also in the Old English, female partner in sanctioned union, wedded. This is from Proto-Germanic wiffa, source of Old Saxon, Old Frisian with, Old Norse vif, Danish, Swedish viv, Middle Dutch, Dutch wife, Old High German. This is going to the history, okay? And it says the general sense of woman as long preserved and conventional English and is is midwife. Old wives tell old wife elderly women, often of this paragament, and is by 1200. Okay, the sense of mistress of a household survives in housewife, and later restricted sense of tradeswoman, humble rank, and fishwife. Okay, but as you see, this word woman means female servant. Okay, and who are you a servant to? You're a servant to your husband. Okay, same thing as wife. A wife is a woman. Okay, a woman is a female servant. Okay, she is supposed to be a servant to her husband. Okay, a lot of women, you know, some women within the truth, they have a problem with this, but this is just history here. Okay, and hey, if you got a problem with it, then hey, you really got a problem with the order that Yahweh Shmi El Shai set up. Okay, but just looking at that video, man, you know, even though some of it is a skit, but the point is that's majority of these women today. Okay, and it was a video of, you know, her saying, you know, her husband is filing for divorce. You know, if it's real, it's real. If it's fake, it's fake. You know, who knows? But majority of women are like that to this day. You know, they want a man to be this and this and that, but they are not doing the qualities of a woman. Now, this is not a lesson for you few believing sisters that actually do these things for you. Do these things, you know, you are taking care of your husband and stuff like that. You're doing the necessary things. Hey, call on Yahweh Shmi Al Shai. But this is basically, you know, what would happen if you were to be, you know, disobedient You know, basically, if you being disobedient to your head, which is your husband, you are all out of order. Okay, the woman's supposed to be there to serve the man. Okay, why you think Sarah called Abraham Lord? Because he was Lord over her. He had authority over her. Okay, and that's how it's gonna go back into in the kingdom. Okay, we would men, the Israelite man is going to have authority over you women. Okay, because when you go into 1 Corinthians 11 here, okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. Now I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. Okay, so now when you look at this right here, all right, and the GNTD, and it says, but I want you to understand that Yahweh Shai is supreme over every man, and the husband is supreme over his wife, and Yahweh is supreme over Yahweh Shai. So let's look at this word supreme here. Okay, supreme. Let's of course bring up the clothing brand definition. All right, definition: the authority or office of someone holding is superior to all others. Okay, so when you look at this, okay, a man is superior. A man has authority over a woman. Okay, now to us men out here, to us brothers, that don't mean that every woman you see, you know, you bitch drop down, give me 50. You gotta have some balance, man. Because some of these, some women, you just gotta deal according to knowledge, man. And if you get a woman that claims she believes, hey, just deal with her accordingly. Just deal with her accordingly, because we all fall short. They gonna fall short, but hey, she's still doing the duties of a wife. Hey, call on you. How about Shmi out shy? But if she's constantly combating you and being disrespectful, you gotta cut her off, man. You gotta let her loose, And if she's a woman like that in that video claiming that she believe in the Lord, cut her off, man. Because she's just gonna be a hindrance. All right, take back your power. Okay, take back your authority. Okay, this is Proverbs 31 here, and then we're gonna go into the blue letter here. Okay, lock you real quick. Proverbs 31. There we go. Proverbs 31. Lock you. Put this on. Bear with me real fast. Somebody tried calling me. Slock you. All right, Shalakia, somebody tried calling me. This is Proverbs 31 here, verse 10. And it said, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Okay. Now, a lot of women like to claim they are Proverbs 31 woman, but are you doing the duties of a Proverbs 31 woman? Okay. And you got to read this. What does a Proverbs 31 woman do? Okay. Because it's one thing you read about it, it's another thing you show, because I stay in St. Louis, Missouri. They call this the show me state. You don't have to show me, But if you sisters that are sincere, you doing what you're supposed to do, then you keep on doing that, okay? You keep on doing that, because you doing that, reverencing your husband, shows your fear in the Lord, okay? That's how y'all show y'all fear in the Lord, by reverencing your husband, okay? Not going out there in the highways and byways and head just trying to teach. That's not your place. That is not your duty, okay? Know your place. Stay in your place, okay? This is Proverbs 30 and verse 31. The heart of her husband do it safely trusting her, so that he would have no need of spoil. She would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Okay, so now I know one of the brothers in the camp, Brother Howard Shaw, like to bring this out all the time. Now, when you go into the blue letter here, okay, you look this word spoil up. Okay, let's get it. Blue letter. All right, Proverbs 31 and verse 11. Where you see this word spoil here, and the Hebrew word for spoil right here is shalal, oh, I think that's what it says. Shalal, okay? It says, prey, plunder, spoil, booty. Prey, but the point is, booty, spoil, plunder of war. Spoils of war, basically. All right? Now, when you go over here, it says the forms of spoils of war, okay? So when you look at right here, it says the booty spoil war, all kinds, including garments, gold, silver, ornaments, fabrics, women. Okay. Now, why did I bring this out? Okay. Why did I bring this out? Because hey, if you're doing the duties of a wife, okay, your husband would have no need for other spoil, other women. Okay, if you're doing your job, okay, if you're doing your job, your husband wouldn't have no need to be seeking another wife. Okay, now is it unlawful for a man? It surely is lawful for a man to take another wife. Okay, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing in the kingdom, having multiple wives. Okay, and all the women in the kingdom are going to be doing their job. Okay. It ain't gonna be no jealousy, no none of that. Everything is going to be in divine order, okay? But on this side, you can try it if you can try it. I tried it, and hey, the shit just don't work for me. You know, it's annoying, okay? Scriptures say, all things are lawful, but it's not expedient. Like, hey, you can try it. Some brothers do it. Some brothers got it down and all that. Me, I just born the line. Hey, I wait into the kingdom, dog. It's a headache, you know. It's a headache. Okay, you better off just, if you can, keep it balanced and keep deal with one. Okay, because one is enough. If you got another one, she might be a worldly woman, and hey, you gonna get sick of her stuff so quick, you just gonna leave her, man. Okay. But you just gotta have common sense too, man. As you see, she told him that, and part of that is on him too, because hey, she told him that she's not going to be doing that. The moment a woman tells you that, leave her, okay? Leave her, because that's not a wife. That, like somebody has said, that's a roommate, okay? Verse 13, she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it with the fruit of her hands. She planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands to hold this distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. She reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth the mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to all the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and praise her. Okay, many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, so she shall be praised. Give her her fruit of her hands, and let her work on works praise her in the gates. Right. So the point is, a lot of you women want to claim you daughters of Sarah, in Proverbs 31 women, but in actuality, you're really not. Okay. You're really not, because hey, when it comes to doing the duties of a wife or to being a woman, just in general, okay, it's far and beyond. Okay, it's far and beyond, and hey, that's why we give, due honor and reverence, to the, and shalom to you who sincere believe in Akwathium, okay, because we know y'all trying, okay, we know y'all trying, okay, but this is more targeted to the women in this world, be not like these women, okay, 'cause these women right here, they gonna be those women that be SOL in the day of trouble, man. Cause ain't no man gonna be looking for them. All right, ain't no man gonna be looking for those hoes, man. Okay. So let's get Sirach 25 real quick. This book of Sirach chapter 25 here. Sirach 25 and verse 25. If she go as I'm gonna start at verse where is it at? I think it's verse I'm gonna start at verse 16, and it says, verse 16, and it says, I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep a house with a wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, that the portion of a sinner fall upon her, as the climbing up a sandy way to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. And this is wisdom here, man. This is wisdom, that these men of the Lord has given us through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shmi Shai, man. Okay? Hey, it'd be better for you to be alone than be with a wicked ass woman, man. Okay? That don't want to do shit. And that's why brothers, always know how to do for yourself. Okay? Know how to cook, know how to clean, do all that, because hey, if you get a woman and she don't know how to do that shit, you just gotta let her go, man. Okay, gotta let her go, because the only thing she's going to be, like the guy said, she's going to be nothing but a roommate. Okay, and it'd be best to just let her go. Okay, so verse 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Right? You can't get like we just read in Proverbs 31. Beauty is vain, man. She can look good on the outside and none of that, but she's ugly on the inside. She is not a wife. Okay, she's a demon. Okay. You rather not share a room with a demon. You rather be by yourself. Okay. Focusing on Yahweh Shmi Shai. And it says, and a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudency, and much reproach. A wicked woman abateth the carriage, and maketh a heavy countenance, and wounded at heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, make weak hands and feeble knees. You see this? Okay. A woman that don't comfort her husband, it basically causes more stress. Okay. This man going out dealing with the world, and then he come back to your wicked ass. Okay? Dinner not done. Jake got to eat a fucking Lunchable. That's sad, man. She telling him, if you want breakfast, go up McDonald's. If you want eggs, make it yourself. All right. That's why sometimes, hey, if you got a woman like that, you gotta leave her, bro. Okay. And then me personally, if a woman told me that, all right, I'm gonna make myself a 5-star fucking meal, and you better not ask for shit. Okay. Because a woman like that, she'll surely flip the script on you. You don't like to cook, man? Get the fuck out of my face. Excuse my French. Verse 25. Verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest, have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. Alright, she acting like that, she don't want to do nothing. Hey, get out. Get out. Why I got it? Nope, you a roommate. I can't have you up in here. And then there's a video where she says she doesn't go 50-50, no none of that. Man, things are high out here. And you get on. You might as well just deal with it by yourself. Okay? This is Ecclesiasticus 26 here. I'm gonna read verse 20. I'm gonna read verse 7. Okay? And it says, an evil wife is a yoke get shaken to and fro, and he that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. And I never held a scorpion, but you got to know that stuff is painful. Okay, it stings you, it pinches you. You just gonna hold on to it, and it's gonna inflict more pain upon you. Okay, be best to let her go. And verse 1: Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be doubled. A virtuous woman rejoices in her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have good heart towards the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. There be 3 things in my heart feareth, and for the fourth I was so afraid: the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and the false accusation, and all these are worse than death. Okay? But the grief of a heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous of another woman, and scourge of the tongue, which communicateth with all. Okay? And then, that's another thing, with these women, man. You can't, if you trying to exercise your right as an Israelite man, which that's how a king is, man. Having the plethora of women, okay? It's not unlawful, okay? But the point is, she'll get jealous over another woman. The whole time y'all getting the equal treatment, okay? We get it that we are in the flesh. You even have it within the truth, okay? You got certain women that just don't get down with it, and then you got some that say they do, and then they go back on their word, okay? It's jealousy, okay? It's because Esau instilled in their minds that that a man's supposed to have one woman, okay? That's not according to Yahweh Shemi Shai. You're gonna choose, you're gonna fear Esau's ways, or you're gonna fear Yahweh Shemi Shai's ways, okay? Because the reason why the Lord had that set up, not just for sex, it's really a business. It's just for you building a nation, okay? How you think the 12 tribes got here, okay? Not just by one woman, it came by 4 women, okay? So, let's jump down to verse 24, okay? It says, a dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband, okay? Let's look up this word reverence here. Okay, reverence. Reverence, deep respect for someone or something, okay? So if you are reverencing your husband, you have a deep respect for your husband, because that is you showing your fear in Yahweh Shemi Shai, knowing that your husband is the way to Yahweh Shai and Yahweh, okay? Just like we have to reverence Yahweh Shai to get to Yahweh, man, okay? You just can't go straight to Yahweh Shai. You got to go through your husband, okay? Reverence your husband, okay? Alright, Slovakia. Getting back to it. Alright. Believe we left off here. Basically referencing, you showing deep respect for your husband, okay? So the point is, you women, for your sister that's in the truth, ain't nothing wrong with referencing your husband. Ain't nothing wrong cooking, cleaning, doing all that. That's showing a form of respect, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that, all right? Because this world, teaches you that it's okay for you to live like this and totally against the scriptures. All right, this is Proverbs 14. I'm gonna end it off on this. Proverbs 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish pluck it down with her hands. All right, you see this? All right, a wise woman buildeth her house. Okay, but a foolish woman plucketh it down with her hands. And hey, how many times have you seen how many single moms out here and stuff? It's because she brought the house down. Okay, now to keep the balance, there are some men out here that just ain't shit? Yeah. Okay, you got men out here, they walk in the house, and there's a fork on the floor, and he's slapping his wife, punching up the kids. You got men out here that's like that. Okay, but the point is, what this lesson is basically like, hey man, if you're doing your job as a woman, hey, your husband will have no need to go deal with no other woman, okay? But there's nothing unlawful about an Israelite man going to do that. But the principle is just, hey, see that video, learn from it, don't be like that, okay? So I'm going to end it off on that. Lord's willing, this is edifying to those who may watch, giving all praise and all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Hakadash. Till next time, to this video, Shalom, Kwame Shabala, Baba, Shalom.